What's up, everyone? I'm back at it again. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm really curious, guys, what you plan on doing leading up into the merge and then also post-merge. Right now, as we can check out winmerge.com, I will leave a link down in the description, and it's pretty much difficulty bomb countdown as well as the mainnet countdown. As we can see, difficulty bomb is literally in 10 days, 14 hours. At this point, that's irrelevant. As we can see for mainnet, it is 11 days, 14 hours. As I've recorded this video, it is September 2nd, 2022. I'm still mining Ethereum, but I've actually switched some GPUs. I actually mined some Flux. I actually own about 500 and maybe 25 Flux. I actually traded some Bitcoin for it, but I want to try to get a node up and running, and that's what I pretty much want to do post-merge. So like I said, we pretty much have 11 days and 14 hours until this thing moves to mainnet. That gives a timeline of about September 14th, 13th, give or take, just depending on how much hash rate jumps onto the network. It seems like everyone's trying to get as much Ethereum as they can just before merge, but at this point it doesn't even really matter. So if you actually scroll down just a little bit, it goes over the Ethereum Merge timeline, and we can see that, you know, they went and started with the kiln, and then they did a bunch of shadow forts, and apparently those went well, as well as the Ropsten. I don't know if I'm saying all these things right. At this point, I really don't care. But you have Sepolia and Dorley. I think that's how you say it. And then, obviously, mainnet in progress. Estimated arrival time is September 15th. And this is wrong. Let's see if we can change that to 2023. Obviously, that does not work. But, whatever. I'm kidding, guys. But let's just go over my HiveOS account and see what I got going on. Let me just scroll all the way back. So I briefly just want to summarize what's mining what as we click on Optiminer number 2, which is my 3060 Ti's. Those are mining Ethereum, and I kind of dialed the clocks down just a little bit just to save a little bit of power. Last time I checked, which is about 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, my electric rate is about 13.5 cents. So I mean, I haven't checked it, like I said, but the bills pretty much stayed the same. So let's jump into Optiminer number 1, which is my AMD cards. And this one as well runs super solid, never really gets hot. I mean, I love this rig, except for I can get this rig to mine for about 5 to 6 days, and Team Red Miner always gives me alerts saying either GPU number 5 or 6 is detected dead. So as you can see right here, it happened today. I've tried to dial the clocks down just a little bit. Like, as you can see, the memory, I've dialed that down on both of these, and a little bit of the power, but I mean, I only saved probably 3 or 4 watts maybe, give or take. If you guys have any suggestions on what I can do, you know, I would hate for this to happen on a different algorithm. I know AMD cards can be a little bit more finicky, and they can be a pain in the butt, but they can be super efficient. But I'm just curious on what's, you know, causing this. You know, like I said, it's always these 2 GPUs right here. So I'm curious. I would love to do a test and, you know, possibly take these 2 GPUs out and see if the whole rig can run solid for about 10 days or 2 weeks. But I figure at this point I'm trying to mine as much Ethereum and convert that into Bitcoin as possible. And I only have pretty much 10 days. So at this point, I'm not touching anything. So if we jump into my 3070 Ti rig, my 3070 Ti's are mining Flux, and my 3070s are mining Ethereum. Reason for that being, when these 3070 Ti's are mining Ethereum, they would get extremely hot. I do need to change the thermal pads on these cards specifically. With that GDDR6X memory, it gets extremely hot, so the memory temps would get really high on a bad day. Mining Ethereum, this card specifically would reach over 102 degrees. So with me being able to dial the memory down to 0, I'm able to get, you know, cooler cards, and they last a little bit longer. Spoiler alert, when Ethereum moves to proof of stake, I will actually, you know, shut this rig down, and I will be taking all these cards apart, doing a bunch of general maintenance on them, you know, changing thermal pads, thermal paste, cleaning them up really good with the location they're at. They're super dusty, super dirty. You guys are probably thinking, you know, you don't need to repad these 3070s, but like I said, with them being super dusty and dirty, I want to get these back, you know, pretty much brand new. And then, you know, I will add these in a server case. So let's just jump into my flight sheet, see what that looks like. I'm pretty much running a dual flight sheet. This is the only other way that you can actually, you know, be able to mine 2 different coins. I think you can go as high as 3 coins, but don't quote me on that. I don't plan on trying it, to be completely honest. You know, I want to keep everything stable, but I figured, you know, mine Ethereum it is the most profitable coin, and then I need more Flux to run a node. So I figured I'd get, a couple GPUs onto Flux and go from there. But let's check out my minerpool.org status and see what's going on. So from my flight sheet, I've copied my Flux wallet address, and I'll paste that in and click enter, and pretty much we'll get the status on my hash rates, balances, pending parallel assets, as well as other info. And I pretty much have this custom payout to 500 Flux. There's no way from here all the way up until the merge with the 3 GPUs I have running onto Flux that I'm going to be able to accumulate that much Flux. But as you guys can see, prior to making this video, I actually did have my 3060 Ti rig as well as my 3070 Ti rig onto Flux, and I was able to get 18.699 Flux. I feel like I'm saying Flux like a million times, but I suggest you guys start testing the waters and start mining these other coins. I feel like everybody is going to jump to ETC, and I'm 99.9% sure that it's not going to be profitable. I don't have my crystal ball, but let's just see. Let me know if I'm wrong or right in a couple weeks. We'll see what happens. But what I'm going to do is actually, I would say when I notice that the Ethereum difficulty bomb starts setting off, what I'll do is I'll put all my rigs onto Flux, and by that time I'll possibly have a full day, if everybody's not doing the same thing I'm doing, but I'll possibly have a full day where I can accumulate possibly maybe 10 or 11 Flux a day up until then, and I'll leave that on there until I can get this payout of 500. But if I notice that the difficulty starts going up and it just doesn't make any sense to have my rigs on, I will turn this off and just kind of wait it out and see what happens. For me, this is all long term. When it comes to the parallel assets, I know these things get paid out once I get that 500 Flux payout is when you'll start to see these things. I don't know exactly how it works, but I think you'll start to see a payout of parallel assets. I'll figure that out as we go. I'll make an updated video on how much Flux I've mined with just those 3 GPUs all the way up until September 15th, and we'll go from there. So as always, guys, if you have any suggestions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. Take care, be safe, peace.